André. So I'm calling you here from Fontainebleau. Where are you?
I'm sitting at home in Switzerland in strict confinement, trying to avoid any contact with other people who are potential carrier of the COVID.
Yes, likewise. So my first question that I had, I wanted to ask you because it's on everybody's mind, has to do with vaccines. You being the vice chairman of Roche Holdings, during the thick of it, of all this conversation, we all know that it takes years typically to develop vaccines. So where is the research? Where are we? How close are we to finding any kind of vaccine for COVID-19?
So first, I have to sort of caveat what I'm going to say by the fact that our company is not active in vaccine. We have never been. This has not been an activity that we have traditional expertise in. However, we've been quite active in virology. We've been at the forefront of the fight for cure for AIDS, but also for the influenza H2N5, which was the avian flu, which created a lot of worry and in fact was one of the last epidemics seen. Sadly, these antiviral molecules do not work on coronavirus, which has a very different molecular structure. We are divided in two main activities. One is pharmaceutical, and the other one is testing, just to develop this notion of personalized healthcare. So on one side, we can deal with therapies. On the other side, we can deal with testing the disease and following the progression of the disease. Mm-hmm. And in that particular COVID-19 situation, testing has taken a lot of importance. Yeah. Now, I think it's important to understand that there are two types of tests. There are blood-based tests, which are testing antibodies, and there are saliva-based tests, or other mucus-based tests, which are detecting the viral presence, the presence of the actual virus. The two tests are at different stage of development. We are only dealing with the viral test at the moment, and we've got permission from the FDA for a specific coronavirus test only beginning of March. In fact, I think it was 12th March, if I remember well. And in the last 3 weeks, we've been able to produce 5 million doses of that test.
But even if vaccines is on everybody's mind, the testing aspect is extremely important because that's what we need to start coming out of the confined situation we're in at the moment, correct? And that's the first step into restarting the economy as well. Do I understand that correctly?
So yes, absolutely. There are, as I said, two tests. One test which actually checks if you're ill or not. Are you a carrier or you're not a carrier of the SARS-2, of the COVID-19 inducing virus? And that's a yes/no answer. That's binary. Problem is, of course, if you have tested negative in the morning, doesn't mean you're not testing positive in the afternoon. So it's linked. It's linked to the disease. The second type of test, the blood-based, which are looking at the level of antibodies that your serum carries, which can be active against the virus. That's a much more instructive one because it can actually inform health authorities type of policies. Somebody who has tested positive to antibodies and has had the symptoms is, we think, immune for a certain period. We don't know for how long, but immune for a certain period. The problem is that to date, there are no really specific antibody tests in existence. The FDA has published a document on the 7th of April saying that they have authorized the use of certain of these tests. So there's a difference between authorization and approval. So tests are now authorized by the FDA, but only one has been approved.
Okay. Thank you. So that gives us hope to have some of these technical details at hand in terms of coming out of that crisis. So I understand that Roche is not focusing on developing a vaccine around that yet, but still, you're in this conversation. Can you give us a sense of how close we are to finding a vaccine, and also explain to us what was required to accelerate this development that typically takes years, as I mentioned before?
Yes, the development of a vaccine historically has taken many years. I mean, I think the average is about 8 years. This time around, this is something quite similar to other viral activities. So it is understood that if all stops are lifted and if everything goes absolutely 100% the capacity, we should be able to develop something in a year, perhaps 18 months. So that still leaves us a long time. And that's only possible because there is absolute collaboration between pharmaceutical companies, universities, state authorities, hospitals. I mean, this is one of the most of the clearest silver lining of the current crisis. There is international cooperation in place, at least at the research on the research side.